Hey there, folks. How are you doing? I am actually recording this daily Millionaire News Thursday evening because very, very early Friday, I am going to be on a plane ride out to the great state of Virginia. I'm going to be speaking at Dealmaker 2020, sponsored or put on by a good friend of mine, Jim Ingersoll. Actually speaking Saturday morning, bright and early. I think I'm the first speaker Saturday. Going to be talking about what I call the second stage of buy and hold investing, basically where you ladder up leverage capital appreciation from phase one. It's called 8 to 80. It is called out in our book at a couple of different occasions, right? Our book, One Rental at a Time. It's basically where we got out of houses and moved into apartments. So yes, I will be sharing the presentation with you as well, my loyal followers, but not until I give the presentation at Jim's event. We want to make sure it's original for that team, and we will do that. So you will probably see it either late Saturday, or it may have to wait till I get home on Sunday. So we will see when I have time to put that together. But that's why this is being recorded early. It'll post at 7 a.m. Friday. So hi, happy Friday. But this is what I got for you. First and foremost, I'm tracking this this cruise ship that is on quarantine. I typically call it the ship out of Japan. I think it's a Princess cruise, Diamond Princess, if memory serves. And the reason I've been watching it is because, again, it's the articles I've read made it sound like a past guest left, then 10 people got sick, then 20, now 61. So again, the numbers are, I guess the numbers are interesting, but that's not why I'm watching. It's how fast and how contagious and what freaking kills this thing. It just bothers me to no end that it seems like this virus lived for days. And again, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but nobody's corrected the story yet. And nobody can explain to me how that happens, right? Usually viruses come out, they go a few feet, they fall to the ground, they're dead. The fact that a virus could last 6 days frightens me to death. Well, not to death, but it frightens me. And it kind of seems like a movie scene. So I'm going to be watching that cruise ship and seeing the reports every day. And let's not forget, there are roughly 4,000 people on that ship, and it's got to be horrible. That's not what they signed up for. I feel for them. I'm very sorry. It's rotten. I get it. What you're going through should not happen to anyone. And if you ever see this, I apologize. It had to happen. It's terrible. But on to other news, right? Because we talk about all things money here. Looks like Uber gets a plug, right? Uber reported after hours, talked about potentially hitting some positive milestones on profitability earlier than expected. I think that's interesting. What that tells me as an old accountant is they are locking down expenses, right? Because there's two ways you get to profitability. You grow top line or you reduce bottom line. In my guess, they didn't say it, but I've been doing this long enough. They're slashing that bottom line, right? Because if you can lower your expenses, you can get to profitability earlier. It's the same thing I teach you or I talk to you about. You want to be retired financially free? Lower your expenses. Only spend on needs. Stop buying wants. I bet Uber was flying high after the IPO, spending that IPO money like nuts. Then they realize they're getting punished. Guess what? They're slashing expenses. If you want to retire financially free, pull an Uber, slash expenses. Next up, what do we have? Pintrest. Shout out Pintrest. They grew top line. Their stock, at least last time I saw it after hours, was up 17%. They produced profitability of 12 cents a share with an expectation of 8 cents. So by my count, that's a 50% beat. And shout out to the team at Pintrest. Great work. Nice job. You deserve it. Keep it going, right? One quarter's a blip. Get 2 in a row. You can call it a trend. So get after it and have some fun. Also saw that China was having tariffs on 50% on U.S. goods, about 75 billion in goods. So again, this tariff thing is unwinding. Again, it's good for all of us. It's just more good news for the economy going forward, really the world economy going forward. Another thing I literally just saw before I hit record, was Joe Biden's campaign after leading the Democratic primary, or at least by the count, for all this time. Looks like he could be in trouble, and he could be out of the race in 2 to 3 weeks. And this is just what makes people funny to me, right? The Democratic side of the equation has been asking who is most likely to beat Trump, and the overwhelming majority, talking 60% all this time, has been saying Biden. Who's least likely to beat him? Sanders. But when people go to vote, they vote for the guy that's going to take on the rich and kill capitalism and all this stuff. Are you not paying attention? I mean, really? That's the choice? Come on. You're kidding, right? This is borderline humorous. But anyways, long way to go. Lots of caucuses and primaries to go, and we'll see where it goes. But I do find that funny. I just find it funny. So anyways, and then last up, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but again, I saw it again today, so it's clearly in the news. MIT Sloan School of Management, or Business Management, and State Street put out an article saying that they see a 70% chance of a recession in the next 6 months. Are you not looking at the news? Are you not looking at what the consumers are doing? Are you not looking at what the companies are doing? It takes 6 months to call a recession, right? You have to have 2 negative quarters of growth. So you're not getting that in Q1. Q1 won't be negative. So you're thinking Q2 will be negative, and then Q3? Man, that's a ballsy assumption. I would have felt better about it if they said a year, right? Or 18 months. But 6 months? I would have changed my model. I wouldn't have brought that to the market. I mean, you tell me, are you seeing any signs of a slowdown out there? Maybe I'm missing something, right? Sure, oil's going to be hurt, and some big manufacturers are going to be hurt, but that's a blip. So I don't know. I just don't get it. So again, I recorded this Thursday evening, so you can have it Friday, because I'm going to be at Dealmaker 2020 giving a presentation about going from 8 to 80. I call it the second stage of buy and hold investing. I absolutely share it with you. Every content I create, I share with this audience. I will, of course, deliver it first at Dealmaker 2020. It's the right thing to do, and I always try to do the right thing. So you can look for it Saturday or Sunday sometime. But that's what I got for you today. Have a wonderful Friday. Oh yes, I forgot one thing. Remember last Friday, we were talking about the stock market, and I warned you, or suggested, that a lot of brokers were going to get flat into the weekend, which meant they were going to sell out their positions, because at the time the virus was still kind of spiking. I think they're going to do the same thing. I think Fridays for the next couple of weeks are going to be sell days, because they don't want to go into a 2-day weekend where things could just go nutty. So I don't think a lot of people are going to keep their long position. So I expect Friday to be really, really choppy, and frankly could be a down day. I don't think it's a 600-point down day like last Friday. Don't take it that way, but people are going to be selling. Because if you're in a short-term position, it just doesn't warrant being long the weekend, because who knows what could happen. And I think that's going to be the case for the next several Fridays. So that's what I think. We'll see if I'm right again. I've been right so far the last couple of weeks. We'll see what happens this Friday. All right, everybody, take care. Thanks.